Welcome to the first episode of FDTV Tales of the Frozen Dead. I'm John Souders, and I'm your host. Today's title, Cred of the Dead. I'm here with writer and actor and avid, if not rabid, comic book fan, Gabe Johnson.
How you doing, my man?
Nice to see you. Good to see you, Gabe. Well, thanks for being here today.
Absolutely, anytime.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, your career.
All right. Well, my name is Gabe Johnson, 28 years old. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York.
Very nice.
I started reading Frozen Dead books, I want to say, about a little over a year, almost 2 years ago. Somewhere around there. And, I gotta say, it's definitely become one of my top 25 favorite comics that I've got.
Nice.
And I'm a really big Marvel and DC guy, too, so that speaks volumes.
Well, you must appreciate the times in the comics when they made points and nods to the Marvel universe.
Absolutely.
Could you tell us how you started reading comics?
All right, so my dad got me into comics when I was really young. He was a really big, avid comic collector himself, and he shared that passion with me. That was one of our bonding times together. So I got my love of comics through him. And as I got older, I started to invest in them as an individual, independently. So Marvel, DC were the two they really struck out, because they're the two big ones anyway.
Yeah.
But
now, are you partial to one, Marvel versus DC, or kind of neutral?
I'm neutral, man. I gotta say, I'm neutral. However, I will say, and I'm gonna get hate for this, but I will say that if all the heroes of Marvel and DC came together and had a big old gladiatorial fight, probably gonna have DC last man standing. Only because they're like god level powers.
This is true, and besides Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, can you really predict what he's gonna do?
No, I was just on a conversation before Nicole working from work, man. It's like, if you give Batman any superpower, he's immediately gonna be overpowered. Man.
Pretty much.
Immediately.
I mean, he brought down Superman how many times?
Right. What pair of kryptonite gloves and pure will, man.
How many times have we seen in the Batcave he has stockpiled kryptonite?
Exactly.
But I'd say that is definitely quite a contrast from the Frozen Dead,
Very much
your
so.
choices. But what is it that you enjoy most about Johnny and his work?
There's a feel to his work.
And concur to that.
Johnny and I do have a similar background. We're both from, we both spent some time in New York City. A lot of our pathways, we haven't crossed individually before, but we had the same stomping grounds.
Yeah.
And, there's a feel that you get from someone who has an intimate knowledge of the city, and that cross feel. And when I read his books and I pick it up, it's almost like I'm walking past one of those punk bars back in the city, and I can just smell it. There's a feel to it, grit to it.
And that's awesome that you could almost get that. Even though you were different ends of the spectrum, so to say, you were still in the same area. And hey, it's kind of kooky the way your paths brought together. Life is a strange way of doing that.
For sure.
So, because we're all curious, who are a few of your favorite Frozen Dead characters and why?
All right. Well, there's three. Of course, you got Johnny and Brett. Brett's almost like everybody's favorite character who reads the book. And I gotta say, it's probably going to be like Pickles Von Necro style, man. It's just a big oaf is always happy to be looming there every time it's in the shot. It's awesome to see.
Big lovable oaf. Who doesn't love him?
You gotta love him, man.
Exactly. Every hero has one.
Exactly.
And pretty much every comic, come on.
Right.
There's one character.
And I'm a sucker for those kind of characters and storylines, man. I always say, that's my favorite guy. He ain't the main guy, but he happens to be there.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're my man. I connect with you.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Plus, you gotta root for the underdog.
You do. That you do.
I mean, oftentimes, they're the ones that make the most of it.
Right. Pickles Von Necrostein, I've been thinking about him a lot since he's my favorites, and I do wonder in the current storyline of Frozen Dead, in the claymation world, where we're going to see him again. We've seen so many characters already. I kind of want to see where he's at.
I'm proud to say I actually have been gifted one of those clay figures.
Which ones?
I actually have. It's the Purple People Eater.
That's dope.
But I think that was also because Johnny knows I'm a fan of crazy old tunes like that. This isn't about me. This is about Frozen Dead.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, your thoughts on the current storyline with the claymation and how it applies to what's going on? I mean, especially during this whole pandemic and everything,
Right,
everybody's needed something to really get their minds off all the uproar and upheaval and stuff that's going on.
Absolutely. You know, John and I had the privilege of working together, you know, so we talk about this quite often at length. And the whole spur of the claymation world that he came together was really in a fit to help his readers, you know, deviate from the qualms of outside.
That's a very good point.
You know, everything outside is full of BS right now.
And
so
how?
He decided to go on and throw some BS in his book with the claymation world, which is amazing.
Stick it to the society in a way.
And you know, I think it's worth noting too, you know, this clay thing didn't come easily. You know what I mean? It was, he picked it up, he taught himself the craft and learned how to do all these by hand, self-taught altogether.
Exactly. I know it was, not to cut you off there.
By all means.
But I know I also was Tribune to get a tour of the process of how he does it. And when he told me that he just kind of picked this up one day and ran with it, jaw hit the floor.
Same.
It just, are you kidding me?
Immediately
this looks
impressed.
like professional grade, like
I thought he went to school for it.
I would have thought so too. That's why it's like, are you you're kidding? Putting me on here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it's just amazing that you're looking here and it looks like something right out of like a Saturday morning special or
It does.
Something of that nature.
Should have had my man's at Wallace and Gromit or something. Man.
Yes.
I got that feel off the bat, you know. But and I'm proud to say I also have a couple figurines too. I have.
Oh, really? Which ones?
Thurgood and the California Raisins.
Awesome. That is great.
Oh, yeah.
One Raisin, I know currently is making quite a prominent role.
Oh yeah, and my man with the microphone.
Mm-hmm. Almost the Vince McMahon type.
Very much so. Very much so. Now I'd love to see him one day just pop on like special referee and just knock somebody out. That would be amazing.
That would be awesome. But then again, who knows? None of us know what's going to happen.
That is true.
Who's going to show up, what might appear, or who knows? Maybe there's something hiding under that ring.
I wouldn't put it past it.
That's
one thing I've learned from reading the Frozen Dead comics is that it's very unpredictable in that sense.
And that is the beauty, that one of the things that I myself love about it, because I recently just started reading Frozen Dead comics.
Right.
So, fairly new to it. I highly recommend it to anybody.
Yes, buy them books.
Buy those books.
Speaking of which,
yes,
I have come to find out that you, since you are new to reading,
yes,
that there's some books you're missing.
Yeah, I came into it kind of late, so the availability of books is good for Johnny, but kind of sadly for new readers, a little hard to come by.
Let me help you out a little bit. Being that I, want to help out a new reader, embrace the love wholeheartedly of the Frozen Dead.
Yes.
Yes, these are 2 issues for you, my man.
You seriously?
These are all the originals, all in one collection, volume 1, straight off the bat. And this one came out last year. This one was one of my favorites up until the new claymation world came out.
You sure you can part with it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Man, I'm happy to give them away.
Well, I am truly honored, Gabe, that you are willing to get the part with this, and I can assure you these will be greatly loved and probably be read through before the night is through.
Oh, do it up, man. Do it big. Which also, by the way, I noticed in the book, in the first few pages, there's one that says, "Thanks, Gabe," in there. Thought that was pretty funny.
Well, hey, that'll just make it extra special.
That's right.
Extra special.
Now, when you read it, you can think of Johnny first, and then you'll think of me. What are some particulars? What are some of your favorite? What are you into?
Well, anyone that knows me well knows, because another thing that I must mention, my nickname is Shaggy. But that all stems from longtime love of Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
So, Shaggy, well, you give me long hair and a goatee. Like zoinks! It's kind of familiar, you know what I mean?
That's spot on, man.
Thank you very much.
What's even better yet?
Scooby-Doo!
Nice, man.
But definitely Scooby-Doo, a big one. Comics in general, Marvel, DC have always played a big part of my life and escape. But by far, my greatest nerddom, the one that really helped me embrace it was Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
Plus, also being an accordion player myself.
No kidding.
I'm not kidding you. 19 years strong.
That's dope, man.
19 years strong.
I gotta be honest with you, I've never met another accordion player flesh to flesh like this before.
Well, congratulations.
My man. That's awesome.
But that being said, with Weird Al, Frozen Dead, of course. Got it. But the satirical side and the biting parody of it is just, oh my gosh, it's like the reading a Weird Al song.
Yeah.
Very similar. I mean, Frozen Dead is to comics what Weird Al is to music. It takes in pop culture, puts it all in like a Cuisinart, hits the button and just spews out.
That's probably the best comparison I've heard so far.
Spews out the mayhem and insanity, but it's always spot on.
That it is.
And it's so gripping to just whatever's happening. It's like you read it, go through it. Holy crap! Holy cow! That is so true.
And you know, I think it does warrant to say something about the title characters in there, Johnny and Brett. You know, we have a zombie and the heart of a zombie. You know what I mean? And it's
heart of a zombie.
When you sit back and you think about it, and I'm sitting here probably overthinking it a lot right now, but being that they're dead, there's an eternity in death. You know what I mean? So that being said, these characters can span all time genres. They can span all dimensions.
Exactly. You never know where
there's a unifying principle in who they are. Mm-hmm. So the fact that the two title characters says a lot about being ever present in all these situations we have going on outside. You can see them in any situation because they're everywhere, omnipotent.
And it's never out of sequence or it can't make sense.
Exactly.
They can turn up just about anywhere and just run with it.
What I think was a lot of the principle behind the multiverse going on in the books was that they can turn up anywhere and they will fuck anything up. That's the idea.
But in a tasteless way.
Oh, yeah, very tasteless.
Very tasteless. Gotta keep it tasteless.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I gotta tell you, man, it was a pleasure being here with you today, man.
And it was truly an honor to meet you, Gabe. And
First accordion player.
Hey,
Weird Al fan.
Oh, yeah. Nerds unite.
Nerds unite.
And hey, I hope to read some of your work very soon.
Oh, absolutely.
I really hope
Please
to.
Do.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. So for all of you who may be wondering why, I am a writer, and I write a graphic novel called The Silverback Archives. It will be released here pretty soon, so stay on the lookout for that.
Can I put myself down for a copy of that?
Oh, by all means.
Okay.
By all means.
But you have to sign it.
You ain't gotta ask me twice.
Okay. All right.
All right, man. It was excellent seeing you.
Hey, it was very nice to meet you.